Welcome back to CC Convos. Today I'm going to give you all an update on my Monstera Thai. So I have a previous video on some care tips and just my journey with propagating the Monstera Thai Constellation. I had moved the Monstera that I had from my living room to my bedroom, and the positioning of the lighting and the nightstand that it was on made the plant leaves. So if here's the window, it made the leaves grow like out. So it was consuming my whole nightstand, and it was just kind of like leggy. So I didn't like the way it was looking, and it was just too large, and it was kind of annoying when I had to water it and move it. So I decided that I was just gonna chop it completely off. So it's gotten too leggy. You see how it's like growing out towards the light? So the plan is to cut it, make cuttings, and then train it better. After I cut it, I just used a gallon jug. I used the HEB bottled water jugs. You could also use like crystal geyser jugs, and they're just 1 gallon jugs that I take a knife and I just cut them. And then the bottom half, I use some of that water. So I use bottled water, and then I put the cuttings in there. And so I had made 2 cuttings, and I put it outside in the jugs of water, and I would just change the water every week. And when I would change the water, I would spray the base of the cutting, the area that I had cut, just so I could get some of the like slime and nastiness off of it. Within 1 week of the plant being outside, it had started to grow roots. They were small roots, and then within a couple weeks, there was bigger roots. So I ended up selling one of the cuttings. It was a middle cutting, and it actually had multiple nodes on the like stem portion. So it had a little node that was going to grow an extra plant. And I sold that on Facebook Marketplace for about $20. The guy gave me $20 cash for the cutting. And it was just rooted in water, so I just gave it to him in the plastic jug that I had cut, and he was super happy. My plan for the top cutting, which is a large 2-leaf cutting and it has great roots, is I'm going to give it to one of my aunts who grows African violets. And I recently got into African violets because I got gifted one from one of my aunts. And I really just am into flowering plants lately. And my violet is about to bloom for the 2nd time. So I think I've kind of figured out how to do it. She also uses like a bottom watering system. So she basically has this like water reservoir, and the plant goes into it. So I don't ever have to really water it or care for it. I just, every couple weeks, I change out the water and clean the water reservoir. So I really like that plant because it's low maintenance, it's easy to take care of, and it's constantly growing leaves or blooming. So I'm going to trade that cutting from the Monstera Thai for another violet. I think my plan for the bottom or the base of the Thai that I had cut off is to just grow plants, and maybe I'll keep one of the smaller plants and sell the others. So I knew when I chopped off the plant from the pot that it was already in, so the base of it, it was going to grow back more than 1 plant probably, because it had a very strong root system in that larger pot. So when I cut it, I noticed within like a week, little buds were starting to form of where there was going to be growth points. And now it has 2 new plants growing from that one base. So I'm going to actually have multiple plants coming off of this one. And right now there has been 2 new leaves that have opened up. So I think I'm going to let these just grow for a little while outside until they have a couple leaves. Once they have a couple leaves, I'll maybe chop off one of the plants and then sell that. The plants are doing really good outside right now, but the weather is pretty temperate. It's not too hot yet, but as it gets closer to summertime, I might have to bring it back inside because it just gets too hot outside. And I have some chairs on my patio and they kind of are like a screen material. So I use that to block direct sun from hitting the plant so that it doesn't burn the new leaves. But this is just a quick video updating you on the process of propagating your Monstera Thai Constellation. Honestly, this is very easy. The first time that I had chopped my Monstera Thai, and the first time I chopped it was actually in an effort to save a plant from root rot, and it worked. I was able to make cuttings and root those again, and they were perfectly healthy. Well, I ended up finding another Monstera Thai actually at an HEB near me, and this one is the one that I just chopped. So I think after I did the first time and I learned, wow, this is actually easier than I thought. You can just root them in water like most other plants. So now if you're ever wanting to possibly propagate your Monstera Thai or produce extra plants to give to friends, to sell, or just have multiples yourself, this is a very easy way.